Kenny, I think you're the first one to make it in. I don't know, it's hard to tell because sometimes there's people that can watch but can't comment. So, hello, welcome everybody to the Sunday edition of the live stream events. So, every Sunday, as you know, we are live from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is the one that links back to Quality Crafts on Facebook, so don't forget about that. If you're new, you're definitely going to want to head over that way. If you're brand new to my channel and you've never been here before, when the moderators come in, and also down below in the description box, you'll be able to see all the links to those things, my store and the Facebook page and all that good stuff. Hi, Susan and Jill and Jen. So if you're also new to my channel, you're going to notice that in the very beginning you see a lot of me saying hi to people, building community, talking to people in chat. That's what we're all about here. So if you're watching archived, you can skip through all of this if it's not what's interesting to you. You have the power to just move that button to any part of the video you wish so you can find the content that you're looking for. Also, if you're live with us, hi, Donna and Jocelyn and Jules and Christy. Oh, good, Christy, it worked for you. I'm so glad. Hey, Vicki and Donna. Also, if you're live with us and I'm going too fast or you need to pause for a moment, did you know you have control to pause the video for a moment, catch up with your crafting, and then take that dial and move it back to where we are live, like catch up, like in a heartbeat. So I just want to let you guys know that you have those choices and those options, because sometimes people get into a video and they're like, I was not expecting all this chatter. Man, that girl talks a lot. Holy cow, all she does is play with her hair and do crazy stuff in the beginning of her video, and I do not dig that. That's totally fine. If I was watching and I wanted to directly know that information, I needed it now, I would just bump ahead in the video and skip it. But for those of us who are in this community, we love to talk to each other, and so we have a live chat that goes on. You can't see it archived, but you can see it live. So just so you know, you want to come back every Thursday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Sundays like today from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Another thing. Hello to Deb and Eva. Oh, hey, Eva. And Jennifer Marker. And Michelle. So if you see anybody in blue, they are the moderators who help us put up posts and kind of show you the way, answer some questions if I'm busy creating. And I'm coming back around to my point that I start a little bit early to make sure that everyone has a chance to get in, doesn't miss anything out on the live stream. So when I say I start at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I start at 2:05. So if you're looking for that content, you want to skip ahead to the 2:05 time. Maybe you want to come in just a little bit later. And then if you're watching on a Thursday evening, of course, 6 to 7, that means we start at about 6:05. So to respect everybody's time, at 5 minutes after, I will stop the babbling, I will stop the hair touting, and we will get down to business. So today, if you haven't already seen, because the chat's just going crazy, hi Linda and Melissa and Tenzert. Woo, we got lots of people. We have people from all over the world that join us, so everyone is welcome. Jump on over to Quality Crafts on YouTube. No, this is Jen Evers on YouTube. I don't even know my own stuff. Join us over at the Facebook group called Quality Crafts. Hopefully somebody will put that in the comments. And everyone new is welcome. So if you are new, put little hearts across your screen if you can. And maybe introduce yourself. We'd love to get to know the people that haven't been around. Sometimes things go so fast and I'm just so into what I'm doing, I don't catch all of that. Vicky says, I am so ready to see what you've got in store for us today. Let's go. We will in 3 minutes. I promise. Michelle, you are so on the spot with that. Mine shows only... Whoa, now it just changed. You guys must see things a little bit quicker than me. I do see 31 now. I was at 27 when that posted. So you and I are a little bit off. Not specifically her, but like the chat and me. If that makes any sense. It would be really cool if there was a spot for the chat to come up in the archived. Maybe that'll be like a new thing someday down the road. So cheers to everyone who showed up. Thank you for coming. It's a gorgeous day. I wish that I could show you the view out the craft room. I literally took pictures, but I had no time to replug everything, and because I have all my video cameras in, no time to replug and put that video that picture in, that photo that I took out the window. But I've got lilacs. I've got another tree blooming. Mostly it's neighbor's yard because I'm really bad at taking care of things, so I don't grow stuff. But this is like all like the natural stuff. I wish you could see it. Yes, there always is a little bit of lag time. But oh, I may be dancing today. We'll see. I usually have typically around 50 people watching. If we jump up to, what did I say last time? Keep me to it. Was it 70? If we hit 70, I would dance. We shall see. Oh, is Kay here? I missed her. Where is... Dun, 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 dun. No, I completely missed it. Is Kay here? There she is. She moved her laptop to the craft room. Oh, yay, so you can work along. All right, so if people want to work along, I'm going to put my Patreon plug in here right now. Patreon is a way that you guys can support what I do so that it's sustainable, so I can keep making videos, because it costs money for me to run my website and to get all the stuff that I need to do and all the time that I put into putting together these videos for you. YouTube will always be free. Nobody has to pay. That's always a confusion and a myth. If you donate or pledge to me on Patreon, that's of everyone's own free will, and I don't judge. But if you're here watching me now, this will always be free. But if you go over to Patreon, you can, depending on what tier you pledge at, you can get exclusive videos that only the patrons see. You can get exclusive lists of like what you need for the next video, and usually you get that early. Stuff like that. So the higher you go, it's all different stuff. But I would love to see more people pledging on Patreon. But again, it's got nothing to do with the content that you see here being charged for in any way. So I'm not judging anybody, and I hope that you will continue to come back and share my videos, because that is the biggest thing that my videos are for. Oh, I'm running out of time. It's 2:05. I have to stop blabbing now. My videos are for the beginner all the way through the advanced crafter. So spread the word, share the videos. Let's get started. Today we're making glue guns, stencils, and I'm going to move my glue gun over. It's dripping. It's the first time I've ever seen this glue gun drip. I turned it on a little bit early just so I wouldn't forget. So let me show you quickly. It's in the picture. I'm going to show you the picture real quick. This blue glue gun on the right hand side of the picture, when you guys see it, that's the glue gun that I have. If you're looking for it, I do not have a link to it, but I'm going to tell you that I got it for $7 at Hobby Lobby. So if you want a glue gun like mine, that's where you can find it. I have it plugged in. It's right here on the side. So you probably won't see that until I bring it into frame. And here are a few things that we're going to use today. I use a lot of baby wipes when I do that if I'm using sprays. You don't have to use sprays today. It's much easier to use inks. But I'm also going to share, and Kay, I'm so glad you showed up today. I'm also going to share that I use the Mr. Misty's, and I make my own spray inks. And I'll probably be using these today versus these because of the color ranges I get. These are very, very dark, and I don't have very many of them. So that's another thing. Lots of baby wipes to do cleanup with. I don't mention that in supplies because that's kind of one of those things that we kind of have around. And this one happened to have a stencil that I made on it because I made the stencil and I put it on and kind of rubbed the ink off. So that was super cool. And I'm going to go through the ones that I've already created because I always create stuff ahead of time for the video. And then we create things together once I get in here. So here's a leaf that I created. And this one has shimmer spray on it. Oh, that really shows up nicely in the video. Look at the shimmer. That one was made from glue, obviously. They all are. Here's one I made that was a chevron. You could make individual chevrons and lay them on your paper, but I wanted them to stay in these rows, so that made it necessary for me to make a block around it. So that's that one. Oh, turned out really cool. This one is by far my favorite. I'll show you how I made this one by doing a different one, a different kind of one, and how I got it to fit so that it would fit right on a card front. And I'm going to start with this one first, just so that you guys can see how that goes. So here's another really cool like bubbly one that I made. There's one that I made with it laying directly on and spraying. And here's one that I did with that same stencil where I put the stencil on this way like this. Used my inks with this tool and my felt. I'm kind of trying to watch the Linda, you stop blabbing now. Hi Mildred and Sue Ann. I know I missed a bunch of people. I apologize. Oh yay! Great. Okay, Grace. I'm just gonna call you Grace. Grace is new. Thanks for coming, Grace. I inked this one up, slid it down, inked it up and slid it down, that kind of thing. So you can play around with them and make a lot of different, unique kind of things with one stencil. I specifically made stencils small enough to fit on cards because that's what I create the most of. So you'll have to kind of take that into consideration depending on what you make. This was just a heart and I moved it around and sprayed, moved it and sprayed, moved it and sprayed. So let's begin making this one. I'm going to show you how I figured out where to put this so that I could get it so that it would fit on an A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. Let me move these out of the way, and I'm going to bring in one of those bases that I already have cut. Oh, Linda, I was talking to Sassy Crafter. Her name is Linda too. My apologies. So see how this fits on the card? So this is what I did. And make sure that, I think I said this in my little quip that I put in. Let me just paste it in here one more time. No, I didn't put it on there. Number 1, you are going to need a non-stick, heat-resistant surface. I'm using a non-stick, heat-resistant craft mat, but mine is actually an oven mat because I know for sure this one is heat-resistant to 450 degrees and I'm not going to have a problem with it. So make sure that you're not doing this on top of a plastic table like I am, but I've already tried this out and it doesn't affect my plastic table underneath, but I have this doubled. I have one underneath it just in case because I don't want my table to get ruined. So here's my card base. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and I'm just going to lay this down kind of centrally for where you guys are at, right? I just don't want it to move. So that's about center. And then take some pieces of washi. Dun, dun, and then lay them like right next to the card. There's probably other ways you could do this. This is just what came to my mind and what worked for me, and it was relatively painless and quick. So you're just going to line these up around the edges of the card, just so that you have an idea of where the edge of that would be, so you know how big to make your stencils, right? Alrighty. Whoops, I slid my mat. And then I'm going to take this part off. So this is the portion that I had to create that stencil, so I just made sure that my stencil stayed within those lines. Now that I said that, I'm going to let you know that if you notice, none of my glue went onto this washi tape because I didn't want the washi tape to be, I didn't want the glue to be stuck to the washi tape. If that happens, we'll deal with that problem later. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do one similar to this, but not flowers. I'm just going to make a random pattern that all sticks together because that's one that I haven't done yet, and I want to share that with you. While I'm doing that, if the moderators would collect ideas from people about what they like to see, then I'll do stencils that you want to see. I also want to mention, I feel like I'm just going blah, 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 blah. I really need to emphasize the fact that you need quite a bit of glue for this. And those long glue sticks you get, you know, that are like yay long. They're like a foot and a half. That would be stellar for this project if you have such a thing. Penny, that was for you. I am going to take the sweater off, though. I was going to open the window, but, you know, then things blow around and you can hear all the noise. Such a gorgeous day. I wish I could just show you guys. So I was talking about the glue sticks and how a longer glue stick would work. Also, quality glue stick. Somebody capture these ideas, butters and butterflies and bubbles, because I'm going to keep moving. A quality glue stick, one that's better than the one that I have, will give you more control and let you make a more precise stencil. This one is not precise when you're putting out a lot of glue. So you're going to see me stopping and starting a lot. You're going to see some things that are a lot wider, a lot thinner. Like if you take a real good look at this, none of this is very similar. Like it's not, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Some of these lines are super thick. Some of them are really thin. I like the fact that it makes the stencil really unique. But if you want something more controlled, make sure you buy a more expensive glue gun that's made for that. And I'm going to turn that blasted autofocus off just so that it stops doing that for you guys. And then we're going to get started. So I'm going to start on like an edge, and I'm just going to make sure that everything I put on here touches itself. If you notice that all of these flowers touch the other flowers, because otherwise when it's dried and you go to peel it off, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have like 10 different stencils, and then you're going to have to like piece and part that together. And you don't want to do that. I also recommend moving these out of the way, because when you have this out, you tend to drag it in your glue. So make sure if you have that, you push that out of the way. All right, now that I've got it started, do you see how it doesn't stay consistent? That was the word I was looking for. This glue gun does not stay consistent. The reason why I like it is why I bought it and why I bought it again after I ruined one by leaving it on, is the fact that the only time I've ever seen it actually leak, which was an issue, was just now. This first time was the time I've ever seen it leak. And a lot of glue guns will just continually drip and leak, and it's frustrating. Also, it's small, it's portable, it comes with this little stand. I just really like everything about it, especially the price. So if you're looking for a glue gun to get started with, go to Hobby Lobby, get this one. I think maybe Michael's has it too, but I'm almost positive. If you want to know for sure they're going to have it, go to Hobby Lobby. Like I said, this one is not going to give you a ton of control. It takes some time to get used to the flow of how things come out. Sometimes if you go higher and just let it fall, it's just going to drizzle all over the place and give you a really cool, like wacky, like winged out design, which is super awesome. Just make sure that you're connecting everything. Think about what you want your design to kind of be before you start, at least a little bit, because that will give you a better understanding of where you want to connect things and stuff. I'm just going to go back through here, I think, to make sure that I've connected everything. And another thing that I did not put on, maybe I neglected to put on the supply list. And just so you know, I'm missing a lot of chat while I'm looking down at this, because I definitely don't want to burn myself while I'm giving instructions and doing this at the same time. But if you see all of the little pieces that are like what do they call it? Glue gum boogers, right? There's always a little bit of potty humor in here. Always family friendly, though, I promise. You can use your heat gun to get rid of these little boogers and strands if you want. Not necessary, but if you want to, that would be the way to do it. I'm just doing just a couple more little things here and there to make sure that I'm connected, completely connected. And that when I lift it up, I'm not going to have little pieces like just still sitting there. It should all come up in one cohesive piece. Now, if you're watching, glue hairs, I love that. All right, I'm going to push this back out and put it back in my stand so I can talk to you guys and not burn myself. That took approximately 1 1/3 stick or so to make, I think. And these are my old yellowed glue sticks, and I'm trying to use them up, so that's what I'm using. You're going to start to notice that, especially in this corner up here, and it's not showing as well on the camera as I can see it in real life, but you'll start noticing that it starts turning white or opaque, which looks like this. So if I put this on the craft mat here where I've had it, it starts looking a lot more white like this, and that's how you'll know that it's done and that you can lift it up. This looks like a little bit hard, but you remember I added a couple of extra ones, so we're going to give this just a little bit time to dry. That's the only bummer about doing these 100% live, is that I need time for this to dry. I could do another one over here, but I don't like to reach over. I just want to make sure that I'm not burning myself, that I'm giving you guys good ideas and good tips so that you can be successful with this. Now, if you don't have, this is also, I do sell this non-stick mat, but I don't have my supplies in to ship them yet. So my apologies that that's not out yet, but it's coming to the store. So if you guys are excited about this black mat I use, I have them. I'm waiting for the supplies so I can ship them appropriately so they don't get wrecked. We've been trying to work on a way to ship them easier, and once you fold this mat, those bendy marks just don't come back out. So it has to be a long box, and shipping is going to be shipping's going to be a deal about that. So I'm going to use my heat gun. I'm going to get rid of some of the little hairy things. If I can get myself in a little bit. Now you can really see the hairy things right here. See them? See all these little teeny tiny ones are, yeah, let's get rid of some of them. All right, that's going to reheat the glue a little bit too, so we got to give that some drying time. But you can tell that the color's changing already, can't you, in some of these areas? Like if I cover up these darn lights. Let's turn off a couple lights today. Let's see what we get. That's a little bit better of a view. Up here especially. Also, if you know that it's been sitting here for a while, how long we've been sitting for 2 or 3 minutes, you can gently touch it with your fingers and you can feel that it's still warm. So we're going to let that sit just a little bit longer. There we go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Jill, for sure. We are going to roll the mats. That's the way they come to me. But they come in multiple, so I have to find a box that's maybe a little bit smaller, so it's not a real big one, if you get my meaning. So, yep, they'll be rolled up in, what do you call them? They're either square boxes or they're poster rolls of some sort. Yeah, yep. Could you do this with a cool glue gun? Are you talking about a cool temp glue gun? Because I think you could. I don't see any reason why not. Mine doesn't have any settings on it, and I think it's a hot glue gun, like hot versus cool. But it doesn't say. I don't think it matters as long as you keep moving. You know, I put a couple of on top of the other ones and they sink into the, I don't think it's a problem at all, really. Yep, poster tubes. Good idea, guys. I've seen a whole bunch of other people say poster tubes, poster tubes. Yep. Right on. You guys are smart. TheBomb.com. Okay. While we're waiting for that to dry, let's talk about these sprays that I'm going to use today, because I know that several people are going to want to know how we made these. I have a video, which I will put in the description box. I have it ready. I just neglected to put it in there. It'll be in there afterwards. On how I made this, but it's super simple, you guys. So get yourself some small sprayers. The thing is if you get those giant sprayers, like if you get sprayers that are like this, I don't remember where I got these. Maybe the dollar store, or maybe, you know, like Target, where you can get them in the bathroom section, like the traveling section where everything's like $2.50 or something. Dollar stores and whatnot. If you get one this big, you're going to need a lot of ink to fill that up. So if you think you're going to use a lot of it, then do that. But if you think you're only going to use a little bit, or you're experimenting, you're not sure, get these little tiny Mr. Misties. These are awesome. I've had these for years and years, so I would just type in the search and look for those. And then get yourself some inks, alcohol inks. So let me back out a bit. That'll really help me out. There are my alcohol inks. So I've got all these old Stampin' Up! Alcohol inks that I don't use for really re-inking my stamp pads. Although I could, I just don't, because I've got so much ink that just ink everywhere. And if you want a recipe, because this is not a video for how to make these, but if you want a recipe, I would get ready to write this down. I'm going to share with you what I put in to refill these today. Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming. We're up to 55 members today. Woo! If we make it to 70, I'll dance. I've tried a cool shot. Simple shapes work. More details, not so much. Thanks, Christy. I've never had a cool, what you call a cool glue gun before. Never. I don't know. K. Myers says they clog. I'm not sure what that means. Which ones clog? Okay, so if you do it this way with the alcohol inks, these should not clog. These have never clogged. If you do these with acrylic inks, or acrylic paints and stuff like that, then yes, they might clog. So if you do them the way I'm telling you today, I hope you're getting ready to write this down, because I know there was one person in particular that really wanted to know this. Awesome. I love how you guys have such faith in me that I'm going to be able to keep my train of thought, keep my thought on what I'm doing down here, give out extra information, watch the chat, and respond to all of your comments. You guys are the most faithful. I just can't do it all, folks. I'm trying my best, though. Write this down. Get these. They're awesome. I wish I had the affiliate link. I don't, but I'll get one. Because I wasn't meaning to do this today, but I've got one special viewer today that is really, she supports my channel a lot, and I wanted to show this to her. These little ones, I put 10 drops, 15 to 20 if you really want a dark color, of any one of your alcohol inks. Doesn't have to be Stampin' Up, can be any kind of alcohol ink. Any kind of ink refill for that matter. Doesn't matter. Any kind of liquid ink. 10 drops. Then I use my dropper, my eyedropper, and I put in one. You can put in a full one. If you push this and fill it up, you put an entire dropper full of alcohol in with the ink. Then you put an entire dropper full of water in with the ink. Should fill it up about halfway. If you want to fill it up higher, you add more water. If you don't want to breathe in the alcohol and you don't care how long it takes to dry, then you put in all water. Skip the alcohol. Okay? So between 10 and 20 drops of your ink, depending on how dark, how vivid, how vibrant you want those colors to be. And then you trade off with your eyedropper, one eyedropper of alcohol, one eyedropper of water. And then if you spray it and you go, wow, that's really too light, you just add more ink. It's all hit or miss. It's all up to you. What taste, what flavors, what kind, your art what you're looking for as you make them. But we're going to be using these today. These are the 6 colors that I've made consistently over time. And these are the colors that I've used. In case you're curious, I've used rose red. Oh, I turned off my thing. Let me turn it back on so you guys can see these. Ta-da! All right. I've used rose red. These are really old, you guys. I've used a barely banana. This one's super old. Oh my goodness. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how old they are. They still work great. Lovely lilac. Old olive, because if you guys know me, this type of green is my absolute favorite in the whole world. Brilliant blue. If you're just joining us now and you're wondering why I'm talking about this and I'm not doing stencils, we're waiting for this one to dry. We are going to make another one, and then we're going to start spraying and using our stencil in just a moment. Marvelous magenta, and those are the 6 colors that I've used to make my sprays today. I've just shared how to use or how to make those sprays. You're going to need a little dropper like this to make them, or something to add your water. 1 part to 1 part. You're so very welcome, my friend. Thanks for coming today. Woo, we've hit 58 viewers. If we hit 70 today, I'm dancing. I'm just going to put my hands right over this, not quite touching it. And I feel like it's really cool. So I'm going to start in one corner and bring you in just a tad and turn off that awesome autofocus. There we go. And now you're going to see as I pick it up, it's really going to turn white now, obviously, because we're taking it off that mat. But I'm going to keep... Here's one that didn't get connected. Do you see this one right here? So you're going to have to be careful with that one. This one is barely connected, but it is. And I'm just going to keep peeling gently and slowly to make sure that I don't rip any of my pieces. I mean, if you do, here's the thing, you guys. And I know a lot of times I'm really funny and I really joke around and stuff, but one of the things that I hope that you walk away from in my videos is that everything that you create, you don't have to go to the big box stores and buy everything that's new and trendy. Even though we all love it, I do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying what I want you to walk away from this knowing is that when you create stuff using the techniques and stuff that I show in my videos, you're creating things that no one else has, which means if you make a card like this with this and somebody looks and goes, that is phenomenal, where'd you get that? You can say, I made it. It's mine. And no one else in the world is going to have that. And that's one of the things I love about making handmade greeting cards, is that every card that I make, and you'll notice that I don't make 5 of one greeting card or 10 of one greeting card. Even at Christmas time, I don't make a bunch of greeting cards that are all identical. Every card I make is uniquely, its own. It's different. Nobody has it. This turned out phenomenal, didn't it, guys? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my spray box in just so I don't make a complete terrible mess in here. There it is. I was playing around with sprays yesterday, so you're going to see one in there. And I got to back out just a tad. There we go. So you can see that spray box. Here's what I was playing with yesterday. This was the lilac one, I think. Hopefully it's a little bit darker today. So let's bring in our card bases. So here's one, and we're going to lay this right down. And check it out. Because we did our washi tape outline, it fits our card front perfectly. If you're going to make something else that's not this size, then you measure it out and do that for whatever you need. Holy cow, guys, 66. I'm going to have to dance today. I better think up a good one. And I'm not even wearing my fun pajama pants. I'm wearing my New Yorkers. Let's see, where is it? Backwards. See? I'm wearing my New York 87, whatever that means. You should have put on something really fun and stripy and cool. 67! Okay, let's do some sprays. So I hope one of the moderators wrote down what we're going to make next for our next stencil, because that's coming up. We got half the time left. So I'm going to do some random brilliant blue. Now you're going to notice these aren't, that's not like totally brilliant like the one that was in, it's not as bright as I'm saying as the ink was because I didn't put that much in it. This one was the what? The Barely Banana, I think. We'll do a little bit of Old Olive. Maybe just a touch here and there, not a lot. And then, what was the other one? Marvelous Magenta was the pink one. Oh, that's cool. Super cool. We've just about filled this up, so I'm just going to spray a little bit more pink. Maybe a little bit there. Brings in a little bit of orange. And then, remember in the beginning when I showed you this one, it has the pattern of the flower? I'm going to show you how I got that. You see on top of the glue that all that water is just like setting there? It's like pooling, it's resisting. I'm going to take a wet baby wipe. Doesn't have to be wet. I mean, if you've got a dry one, that works too. And I'm just going to lay it on top of there. And I'm just going to push down with my hand. Now, you might get ink all over your hand, especially if you're using those really, really super, like these dilutions. Uber gonna color your hands totally. Put it down on there and then lift it back up and check it out. You get like a print, depending on what kind of spray you use and you know how much you've added. But if you're interested in that kind of a thing to use on a project later, you can do that too. But then you pick it up and look. How cool is that? Super cool. That is really fun. I really like that one. Now, if you wanted to, if you didn't want it to be stark white, you can do another spray over the top of this and cover that up if you, but I'm not going to do that because I think that looks really, really cool. All right. Now, if you're coming up and you're watching this and you're going, wow, I have a bazillion other ideas that we could try with that, you could go ahead and shout them out. We'll give it a shot if we've got time. I'm going to go ahead now and just put this between two baby wipes and just give it a gentle rub back and forth, and that's going to take all of the ink off the top. This one's dry. I'm just reusing that. And then you've got a clean stencil to use again. Okay, and then I would recommend putting these in like folders, not folders, what am I talking about? Page protectors, and then putting the page protectors right into like a 3-ring binder or something would be a really good way to keep them. Let's move the spray box out of the way. Oh my gosh, 69! 69 viewers! Holy cow! If we get one more, I'm going to have to dance. I feel like I'm starting to sweat. I better take a drink. Holy Hannah. Cheers, you guys. I need to bring out some more glue because it looks like I'm going to run out for this one. And we need an idea. I remember seeing bubbles, which I kind of did bubbles. So I'm not quite sure in your artist brain what kind of bubbles you're thinking, but I'm thinking this looks kind of like bubbles. So if you could reiterate maybe a little bit. So a butterfly, we've got that one. What are some of the other ones that I missed? If someone could just, one of the moderators, please, so not everyone's not shouting at me and making me all crazy. Hi, Candy. So I've got a couple of glue sticks ready to roll. I got my glue gun here. We're going to make another stencil. If you're just joining us now, or you've joined in the last few minutes and you're like, hey, what is going on in here today? I'm going to show you. We are making glue gun stencils. Here's one that we made previous. Oh my gosh, my heart got stuck there. I wonder why not. There it is. A heart stencil. So you can make them really small if you want. And then this one, which we'll call the bubble one, just because somebody said something about bubbles. A bubble one. And these are all made out of hot glue. We're going to make another one. Right now, we're running, I feel like we're running out of time because we're going to run out of time to really play around with it. But there's a chevron one, and then this leaf one, and I sprayed this one with shiny, shiny gorgeousness. Delicious, right? You just want to eat it up. Yum, yum, yum. All right. I'm going to move those over. Let's start at another one. Ooh, snowflakes and swirls would be really cool. So waves and fish, butterflies. I see a lot of butterflies. Clouds would be really cool. Oh my gosh, okay. So why don't we make a couple of small ones? Like, let's make one of a cloud so that we could use that later. You'll notice that I don't talk as much when I'm using the glue gun because I don't want to burn myself. Oh, I forgot to put my leg up. Did you notice that? My leg got stuck in the glue right here. Always put your legs up when you're gluing because you tend to drag. There's a cloud. We got, somebody else wanted butterfly. So there's a cloud. We could do some raindrops falling from it, but somehow, now remember, if you do, Deb Witt, you're so awesome. Did we hit 70? Oh my Lord, I gotta stop right here and, well, okay, I'm gonna dance, but let's finish these because then I can dance while it dries. Yeah? 70! Woo! We hit 70 today. Okay, let's do a butterfly. Now, do we want to do a full-on butterfly so that it's, like, totally not filled in? Let's move the legs back. I'll make one that, let's just see what we can get here. And I'm trying to be as creative as the glue will let me. So we'll see. I'm shaking a little bit. I'm so excited. This glue gun is not the best for control, like I said, you guys. It's a lot of stopping and starting and that kind of thing. But do the best I can to make this one. I'm not really sure that those, there we go, now you can see it. I'm not really sure that those two little things are gonna work there. Those little antennae, because I can't tell how thick or thin they are. Let me just make them a little bit thicker, just cause. I don't want them to be a complete fail. And then I'm gonna dance as soon as I get done with this because I want to make sure we've got time for these to dry and that we use them before we go today. So the other one that somebody said was swirls and snowflakes. So let's go ahead and try a snowflake here. This one's going to have a lot of glue hairs, but hopefully it'll turn out kind of cute. There's a snowflake. And then I'll do a swirl. Now keep in mind, if you guys just joined us and you missed the very beginning, go back and check out some of the things that I mentioned that will make this a lot more successful for you if you're just starting out trying this for the first time. There's a swirl. And somebody else wanted waves. How am I going to pull that off? Somebody said we could use the clouds as waves. I am trying to look. I wish I could turn music on because wouldn't the dancing be just that much more spectacular? So now we got to dance. We got to boogie. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Somebody should sing for me. I should have like, oh, you know what? If one of you guys sings and takes a tape of it, then I can play it because then it's not copyrighted if you give me permission. So there's a challenge. There's a dare there, guys. There's a dare. Anybody can make some music for me for dancing. Let's dance. I don't even know the words to that song, just that part. Yay, Mayuki was dancing too. Let's see if we can make something else in this little corner. Let's do like let's do a filled in heart. Do you know what I mean? Like I made the last one a heart that was just the outline. Let's make like a heart that's literally filled in. You guys are so much fun. I'm really lucky to have the followers in my group that I have. Because guess what's coming up? 7. Oh my goodness, if we get to 80, I'll have to dance again. I'm going to have to practice up on some dancing so that you guys can pick what dances you like. I can do a lot better dance than what I've done, but I have to mentally remember them and prepare. There's going to be another, I don't know, some of you guys are really new. There's going to be another silly selfie challenge over at the Facebook group. So if you're not a part of that, get on over there today. Somebody puts that in there for us. That'd be really great. La 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 la. Hey hey hey. Let's craft. Head on over there because the last time it was a total blast. I took pictures of myself without my front tooth in and my hair all crazy, I think, and we had people posting the most awesome stuff. So, oh hey, Cademons, that's okay that you're late. We're still doing some stuff, and we've got about 15 minutes left. See, the hustle, the bump, the slides, I can do all that stuff. I just, when I get up in there and I have to do it like right now, I forget. Okay, so if you're joining us just a tad bit late here, we've got 15 minutes left. I'm heat gunning this only because I'm trying to get rid of the glue boogers, the glue hairs, whatever you call them. And we made teeny tiny stencils this time, but I don't want to mislead you if you're just jumping in now. We made a bunch of really big stencils too. Oh, owls would be fun. Do the nay-nay. Oh my gosh, I know how to do the nay-nay. I wish I would have thought about that. Well, if we get to 80, I'll nay-nay, okay? Now watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. I could do that. I know how to whip a nay-nay. Okay, so this is the one that we made on screen just a little bit ago. I love this one. I hope you guys love this one as much as I do. I just really think that turned out super cool. And then I'll show you one more in review here that there is a leaf. So now what we're doing now is making the small ones kind of like the leaf, but you can do, you know, whole page ones. There's a chevron. These really deep dark ones, if you're wondering, those were made with dilution sprays. This one was actually inked with, where's my stack? These kind of inks, regular inks, and a tool with a piece of felt. So you can get that kind of ink, you know, look if you're inking and moving your stencil. That's another sprayed one of the same stencil. Here's another little one. So I made one this one's a filled in heart. This one was an outline of a heart, so I just put it down and sprayed, moved it and sprayed, moved it and sprayed. And then this was the other really big one that I had made, and that was beforehand, and it's a flower one, a floral, which looks really cool. So the one thing that I really want you guys to take away today is what? What was the one big thing that I said? If you don't walk away from this video from anything else, I really, really want you to know that making stuff like this and the ideas I bring to you on Quality Crafts, Jen Evers' channel is... I wonder if anybody knows. Oh, thanks, Sherry. Oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. Well, there you go. Somebody wanted waves. The chevron looks like waves, Tracy said. It does. Look at that. There you go. Waves. Waves on the ocean. Oh my gosh, the glue boogers could be varicose veins. Hi, Sharon. Thank you guys for coming. I'm just going to double check. Let's see how warm these guys still are. Not too bad. I'm not going to touch that heart because that one's really thick. It's even got bubbles in the middle of it. But let's see if we can get the cloud off. Yep. I'm going to move. You know what? I think we're pretty much done with this. So just for the safety and well-being of yours truly, I'm going to unplug that glue gun right now and move it over so that I'm not burning myself. Do a little couple of flips for my hair flipping friends that just adore it. That long hair fun. There we go. We got a neat cloud there. Yeah. And let's see if this one will come up. I think it will. I'm going to pull up from, I think, from all four sides just so I don't rip off those little... If I would have taken a lot more time, I could have got a much better, bigger, more fun snowflake, but that did turn kind of cute. You can always also take your scissors and just cut off the little hairs. But isn't that cute? I think that might even be able to pass for some kind of design. I don't know. That's really neat. Yes, make your craft your own. Who else answered that? No pressure. Craft happy. Oh, oops, I went too far down. Be unique, be yourself, and use what you already have. Absolutely. Your art, nobody else will have your art, you guys. And it doesn't matter if yours looks like everyone else's or looks like what's on trend or anything like that. It's going to be amazing because it's going to be yours. Look at that swirly do. Now remember, this isn't connected. It's connected, I mean, on the outside, but the middle isn't. So you got to, take a little care with some of these designs. And the ones that you don't like, it's just glue, man. Chuck them in the garbage. Start over. No big deal. I wish there was a way that you could, like, get a mold and take the ones that you don't like and make them back into glue sticks like this. Like, put it in a mold and it would just, like, recreate this glue stick. Like, there's probably is a whole set out there or something like that. Okay, I'm going to peel up the butterfly. It really doesn't take that long for it to dry, does it? You just want to make sure that you're not peeling them up before they're ready, because if you do, then, your work will be ruined. Could be ruined. There's a wonky butterfly if I ever saw one, with a really long, funky... I almost said I was going to cut off that little tail, but I think I'm going to leave it. That's weird. I like it. I think that heart could come off. Let me back out a tad. We're a little too close. A little too close for comfort. Yeah. It's still a little bit warm, but look at that. I like the little heart. The heart is fun. Let me move these just a little bit over to the side, because when I bring in that, we want to play with them now, right? We want to try them out. Oh, I want to show you something else. Some of these are not going to be able to be used this way, but this heart one I believe will be. So let's start with this one. I'm going to put a little bit of ATG tape on this. Here we go. Get it going. It doesn't like to go on stuff that's not non-stick. Yeah, boy, it's being really picky. Fine, okay. We'll just do it on a piece of paper then. There we go. All I'm doing is just getting a little piece of that glue to make it sticky, just so it'll hold it in place. Not, you know, forever. I mean, we're not making stickers, right? We're making stencils. But I want to see if what I'm saying is, let me get my thoughts together. If you do the cloud and you're wanting to do inking, you're going to have to be very, very careful because this cloud is going to rip. It's really thin. The one that I inked with, what I'm showing you right now, look, there's a booger I could have used right there. Oh, darn. The one I'm talking about that I inked with was this one. Do you see how super thick and sturdy this one is? This one is not going to rip or fall apart if you ink over it, okay? But don't do this part with the ones that are really thin, because you're just going to rip them and then you're going to be sad if you really, really loved that one. So I'm just using little pieces of felt. You get a little bit of ink on there, and then you ink over the top of it. I would hold it with your finger. That's what I did with the other ones. It worked way better with the other one. Just remember that if you want to ink like this, you're going to have to make yours really thick. This is not the best example, but I have another one. Okay, something like that, and then pick it up. Yeah, not my favorite. Let me show you with the other one. It's much easier. So if you want to do the inking and you don't have the sprays, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I reminded myself. Hold on a second. If you don't have the sprays and maybe you don't have a glue gun yet, what I want you to do is I want you to take a piece of paper and a scissors or something and create a stencil using a piece of paper for the challenge, because I don't want anyone to feel left out. So I think I put that somewhere. I can't remember where I did it. Right after this, I'll be setting up the folder for the new challenge, which starts today. And I will put that in the rules, that if you want to join in this challenge and you can't make a glue gun stencil because either you're new and you don't have a glue gun, or there's some reason why you can't, then you go ahead and make a stencil out of paper. And what I'm saying is, like, you can do something as simple as, I'm going to make the waves that somebody wanted, like this. That's my stencil. So I'm going to put it down and I'm going to ink that. Okay? This is a really, really rudimentary, quick. I'm just going to scoot this over. We're going to do it again. All right, do you see? This is like a rudimentary stencil that we've made here. This is what I'm talking about. So there, you made a stencil and you were able to create something with it. I either want to see something you create. I really want to see the stencil you made. So if that's what you made, and that's your stencil, go you. If you cut out circles in it or you used your punches and punched a bunch of stuff, that's awesome too. Whatever you can do. So anybody can join in, because I know that y'all have paper and a pair of scissors somewhere. And if you don't even have a pair of scissors, but you have a piece of paper, then I want to see a ripped stencil. Okay, so just rip the paper. So now I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to show you how to ink it. If you want to ink it this way, make sure your stencil is super thick, all right? Because obviously you can't do it with the little ones, and that other little thick little heart didn't work very well. Let's try this in blue. So this is what I'm going to do. There's my other piece here. When these get all ruined, I just get another piece of felt and cut more. No big deal. They're cheap. Okay, hold it down fast with your fingers, and then just go over the top. Re-ink as needed, and then just go over the top. Okay, I'm going to try to get that to stay there. I'm getting ink all over my fingers. That's why that little one right there got my fingerprint in it. Chalks would work. Yeah, go nuts. You know, I don't cover every single thing that you can do with every technique that I share with you. What should be happening in your brain is you're going, oh my gosh, that was really cool what I saw today, but I thought of all these other things that I could do. I want you to take that back to your craft room and go crazy with it. You know, And then post your pictures over in the Facebook group so that we can see what you've come up with. So this one is, at first I did salty ocean. This one's crushed olive. Sometimes I just forget to show you guys what I'm using. I'm not so much about the trendy stuff as I am using what you have and making sure that you're able to create. I mean, there's no point in me showing you something that you can't ever do. Now that I say that, there are going to be times when I get some of the newer, funner, trendy stuff. And hopefully that will give you other ideas and maybe encourage you to only purchase the things that you think you will really use or you really need, or maybe that's going to go on your want list, and maybe something else that you see me using, you can say, wow, I saw Jen use that and I don't really need it. So you can make better choices. So it's not about me showing you and bragging and going, wow, look what I have, and going, oh, I have all this stuff. It's about me giving you value in what I'm doing so that you can make choices for yourself, especially for you beginners out there. You get into crafting and you're like, whoa, and I promised everybody a video on the top 10 things you need when you start paper crafting. It's in the works. I just want to make sure that I do that video up right, so it's going to take me another couple of days, up to maybe another week or so. So hang in there, guys. It's coming. If you can't wait, go out and watch somebody else's video, but by all means come back and watch mine if you like it Jen style, because it is coming. So here's a paper stencil, and we got to wrap this up because it's almost time, guys. I know, it's such a bummer, right? So it is Sunday. Over at Facebook, at the Quality Crafts, I got glue everywhere. Over at Facebook on the Quality Crafts group, Sunday to Sunday is the challenge. It's usually a technique challenge. I show you how to do it, which is what we're doing here today. And then we ran out of time to use all these. You go over there and you make some of this stuff, and then you take a photograph of it and post it in the correct folder album. If you don't know how to post things in an album, ask somebody. There are people all over that group that will help you out. It might not ever necessarily be me, because I don't always have the most time or patience in helping people find that stuff. But if you're looking for stuff that you can't find, there's a pinned post on Quality Crafts that has everything and anything you ever need to know about Quality Crafts. And that's always at the top. It never moves. We'll make sure that it's easy for you to get in there, easy for you to find things, easy for you to create community and talk to people. So this week is making stencils. If you don't have a glue gun, if you're new, if you just can't make them for whatever reason, you go ahead and get yourself a piece of paper, cut it, make punches in it, rip it if you have to, make your own stencil, and you can also enter the challenge with that as well. When I'm done here, I'll be making a new album for this week's projects. So if you're one of those ones that's like, woohoo, I totally did this while Jen was creating, where's the album? It's coming. I'll put it up right after I'm done here. I'm really, really glad that you guys came in today. This was really fun. I have stuff everywhere. You wouldn't believe it. As my wrap up, I usually show you what we've done today. We made this one today among all these other little ones, right? We did that one today. And then here are some of the ones that I made ahead of time. So you can make flowers, leaves. They are a little bit sticky. That one's really cool. Chevron patterns, right? And there's that bubble one. Oh, he's right here. Big bubble one. Big Bubba, we'll call him. And a little heart. So you guys can always just go take this idea and run. I shouldn't see, 20 entries of all the same stuff here. I should see 20 entries of uniquely your art, right? Because every person that came here today is an artist, and that's why we're here. Guilty of that. You guys just know there's always going to be somebody there to help you, so don't feel bad about that. That kind of stuff happens, and we will help you. It's not going to be a big deal. So what else do I want to say? Make sure you can use inks and sprays, whatever you have. Today we use alcohol sprays that were handmade. If you want to know more about this, look in the description box below. I will be putting the old video I showed on making these, or you can go back if you're watching archived and watch. I give you a little recipe on how to do this within this video if you missed that part. So if you want to know that, you can look through this video or click on the old video, the really old video, not like Jen is today video, and find that information. Otherwise, you can go out and buy your own sprays. I highly recommend these if you want something super dark like that, because they're wonderful. They're just amazing sprays, dilutions. And that's it for today, you guys. I was really happy to do the dance. I hope that we do that again. Oh, Jen, did I get Snapchat yet? I have Snapchat. I just don't know how to really use it. So, yeah, I do have Snapchat. Talk to me afterwards if you want to know about. I am on Twitter. I do have Snapchat, although it's not really that public. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. And I'm on Patreon. And I have my own website, which is qualitycrafts.com. And always at the end, I want to thank you guys for coming. And you know what I'm going to say next? I cannot wait to see you guys next video.